Welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course, you can tell we're in a different studio, and actually this is a vet studio, so hey, let's keep them going, and let's help them, and let's get them out there and make sure we all acknowledge them for the work they do and for what they do and how they protect the USA. And actually the USA does need a lot of protection lately. So anyway, I have an incredible guest today. He's English, so that's one thing. We're both English, so we quite understand each other. Secondly, his name is Micheal Ellis, and Micheal Ellis was a valet. How are you, Micheal?
Butler.
Butler. Oh, I've got to put the butler, not the valet. I said valet before, and he corrected me. Butler. That's a pretty hard job to do in England, being a butler. But he not only was just a regular butler, you worked for the, where they filmed Downton Abbey, you were the butler there. And
Highclere Castle.
Clare Castle.
Highclere.
Highclere Castle.
Yeah. It's C-L-E-R-E.
Okay. And how did you get into this, Micheal? You were, we're going back, I guess, a couple of years.
Well, I started out in life working on passenger liners, not cruise ships, passenger liners. Back in the day, cruising was only done by the rich people, but I worked on ships that took passengers.
That's correct, yeah.
Cruising came in later, but I finished with the passenger liners then. I was in catering on the passenger.
What was a passenger liner? Was that going back and forth to different countries?
Yeah, we went round the world normally. We'd leave Britain, go to Australia, then cross the Pacific to the west coast of America, here, Canada, then back to Hawaii, and then off to Japan.
So you must have had some pretty tough experiences on the waters.
Yeah, well, I went through tough, but I was 16 when I first sailed on my first ship.
It's funny we talk about England. And in England, we all kind of start work at 16 years old. We weren't really going to colleges then, were we? Unless we were totally 100%, educationally wise, perfect. we weren't. And so we'd immediately start working as an apprentice or as an assistant or whatever.
Well, I started working as what they called a bellboy in those days. But it's a little different to what it was here. We had quite a few different duties,
Yeah.
But I went on to be a waiter in the first-class restaurant,
And that's how we did it, isn't it? You start here and you work your way through, and if you can get through all these different things.
Right.
As a waiter, waiting on people, pretty tough, huh?
Well, it will surprise you. We had an extensive menu, but I only had 2 sittings of 4 because it's first class, and they wanted to have excellent service. You see the cruise ships today, they have maybe 14 to take care of.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And it was all what we call silver service. Some places call it French service, where the plate went down empty and we served the food on it.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
And even breakfast.
We still do that in England, don't we?
Well, some places, yeah. Some places they
botch it up.
Yeah, well, no. They only serve the veg, right.
Yeah.
It's disappearing, listen, you're really a high-class place.
So you're at a waiter now, so how old are you now? Now you're what, 18, 20?
Yeah, around that.
Around that age.
About, it's approximately about 10 years at sea. I can't really remember.
10 years?
Yeah.
Now, did you get married or did you... No, you were still single and still floating?
Still single.
Still single and floating around and having a great time, right?
Well, when I was ashore, yeah.
So you actually saw the world at a very young age.
I did.
And there's any particular place you kind of fell in love with and you thought, oh, well, I'd love to stay here, and comparing it to England?
Well, there was New Zealand, place like that.
Yeah.
I love going to Japan, but I don't know if I want to live there. But I always liked being in Japan,
So you love traveling, and you did the right job to travel.
Yeah.
Did you actually take on this job to be able to travel around, or did you just take...
Mainly went for the adventure of travel.
Because that's typically English, we love to travel, we love to go out, we love to sort of see everything and do everything. So you had the perfect job. So now, how did this butler thing come on? Because you worked...
Well, this came on several years later in this, but after the ship, I worked in several different restaurants and hotels,
And were they popular hotels? Were they?
Yeah, they were good hotels. They were good class hotels.
Remember a couple of them? Can you remember any of them?
Well, I worked at, I can't remember all the names.
Of course, no.
It's so many,
Yeah.
It's the sort of job you move around a bit.
So, and you would do breakfast, lunch and dinner?
Right. Or sometimes not breakfast and lunch and dinner, or sometimes breakfast and lunch.
Just lunch, yeah. Whatever the case was.
And all these jobs were live-in jobs in those days. You lived on the property, So that made it great.
And you liked that because there's no rent to pay. You're right on the job. But you must have been pretty good. So how did you upgrade yourself by getting these beautiful jobs in great hotels?
Well, the strange thing is, I was in a pub. We go to pubs in England and socialise.
We love pubs.
Yeah.
We love pubs.
And there was an old gentleman used to come in there, and he told me he used to be a butler. And I said, really? He said, you should try that. You've got all this background. And I said, do they still have them now? This was back in the 70s, I was asking that question. And he said, yeah, and it's really good money, and they can't get good people. That's how I
And you had all the experience, actually.
Yeah. I had enough to get me in the door.
There you go. So once you got in the door and you had to talk to these, you were probably shaking in your boots.
Right.
And nervous. And how old? You'd be probably, 22, 20? Oh, no, probably older than that. Probably older than that. Probably 30s, in your 30s.
Well, the first, there's a magazine in England, I don't know if you know it, it was called The Lady, and it advertises all the domestic jobs in England and abroad. So I was looking at it one day. By this time I was married. I'm married to an Irish girl,
Okay.
And she used to be a housekeeper in the hotel business.
So you had a lot of stuff in common?
And I saw Highclere advertising for a couple to assist the housekeeper and me to assist the butler. So
Perfect.
I applied and I got the job.
And then your wife got it as well?
Yeah, we were a couple. A lot of these jobs today are couples, and they're like the couple.
Yeah.
So I got the job, but at first I wasn't going to take it because they weren't paying much money, And
it was live-in?
It was live-in, all found. But they raised it a little bit, so I took the job. And I'm glad I did, because in a way it was like stepping back in time. I worked for the 6th Earl of Carnarvon.
The 6th Earl of
Carnarvon. It was still run in a very old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
And the 6th Earl, I'm sorry I'm not very clear, but
you're being very clear. You're doing great.
The 6th Earl, and his father was the 5th Earl, who was the guy who opened the tomb of King Tut with Howard Carter. He put the money in. He was there the day they broke into
they broke in King
tomb,
That's really, I don't know why.
But I didn't meet his dad, he was dead, of course.
Yes, of course, but I don't know why you mentioned King Tut, but I had a message from my mother and my sister that King Tut was my angel. I have no idea where this came from. I don't know why you suddenly brought this up. I mean, whoever talks about King Tut, that's really quite...
That's interesting,
Very interesting. I think that's fascinating.
Right. So
these are the people you were around.
Right, I was around his son, not King Tut, but Earl of Carnarvon, the title goes on.
Yes.
So I remember one day working, and the senior butler took me around, and he opened a cupboard door, and he put his hand in, and he put some trinkets in my hand. They were all like little statues. He said, they come out of Tut's tomb. So I said,
and you're actually holding them?
I was actually holding them. At the time, I didn't take a lot of notice because it was time for a beer, and I was more interested.
More interested in the beer. You didn't even know who King Tut was, probably, at that time. You had no idea who he was.
Well, you start to learn about that because you hear about it in the castle.
Well, of course, yes.
So that's how and I always tell people, I've held statues out of King Tut's pyramid, and yet they look at me like I'm nuts, so I don't tell too many people.
But it doesn't. Well, now the whole world's going to know. The whole world's Micheal Ellis had King Tut's little memento. Yeah, because he was very young, obviously, when he passed away and the whole bit. So this is quite interesting. So when this happened, did you realise exactly where you were? Do you think, oh, well, wait a second, this is a very, very high class, obviously.
Yeah.
And your wife, was she worried about working there, or did she just fit right in?
Nervous at first, but
Yeah.
but they were so kind, so nice, you know. There was no snobbery.
And was it big? I mean, it must have been. It's a
It
large.
was big, but it's pretty old.
Okay.
And, the Earl of Carnarvon I worked for, he lived in it, and he was an old man. That's why they really wanted me. The other butler lived out on the estate, so they really want me to be in there with him.
To take care of him,
Well,
to make
yeah,
sure he
make
can
sure
walk out and he
He's
eats.
not
And
nervous, you know,
yeah.
being in there on his own.
on his own, yeah. And your wife there. So you were kind of living in a home. You were living in your new home.
I was living in a castle.
Living in a castle.
It wasn't like in Downton Abbey. I had one of the whole floors on the front to myself, you know. I didn't use it, of course. I didn't need to.
How did you feel with all this? I mean, you know, you're
It
sort
was
of...
all strange at first, and then it became quite normal. I could look out the window, and if you didn't just look and imagine you were back in 200, 300 years, you could just imagine a stagecoach riding in or something. Yeah, it was a wonderful view.
It was amazing. And did you take photographs of all this and sort of keep...
Well, I really didn't have a very good camera in those days, so
No.
I took a few, and I've lost a few.
And you've lost a few of
Yeah.
them. So how long were you there?
I was there for 3 years,
3
approximately.
years. Approximately 3 years.
And I didn't want to leave, but I knew if I didn't leave, I'd never leave. And I wanted to go
And why
on.
did you want to leave?
I wanted to further my... See, it was great to be taught the old ways, but modern butlers really don't need a lot of the stuff I was being taught.
You were being taught.
Yeah.
But at least you had 3 years of
Yeah.
learning. At least you knew it.
I had 3 years of for a resume. you
Yes,
know. Yeah.
fabulous. Now, Downton Abbey was filmed there, right?
Right.
You could put the Downton Abbey thing up, I guess. I'm talking to my producer now. Do you want to put it up? There you go. Look, Downton Abbey. But we've put this Downton Abbey up only, and you can take it down if you like, only because that's where it was filmed.
I understand.
And
Yeah.
now they've also just brought the movie out about Downton
Yeah.
Abbey, apparently. So this is all kind of fitting in.
Yeah.
I don't know how things happen in this world, but they all seem to get together and they all seem to happen at the right time. I could have interviewed you a few months ago and there was no Downton Abbey being filmed.
Well, I think I said to you earlier, I wasn't in Downton Abbey. I
No.
worked at Highclere Castle,
Yes.
the place they filmed.
They filmed it
Downton
at, and we want to make that very clear. This
Yeah.
is not Downton Abbey. This is where Downton Abbey was filmed, just to make sure we have our little marks in a row.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what was your most memorable time there? That sort of
There was lots of things, like I told you about the
King Tut.
King Tut. I learned it was strange, really, because we didn't have the staff that they had then. There was me, the butler, and we had a lady come in and help us out when we were busy. But he didn't entertain a lot when I got there. He was old, you know,
Yeah.
so that was, in a way, nice, because it made it easier for me.
Easier for you.
Yeah.
So this was really more of a learning platform
Yeah,
for you.
it was.
So did you meet anybody? Did people come over that you met from royalty?
We had Prince Charles visited once.
So you met Prince Charles.
Lord Carnarvon's son was Lord Porchester. That title, when he died, he got Lord Carnarvon. Okay, Lord Porchester was the Queen's racing manager.
Oh.
And when the Queen came, she came to the castle, but she didn't stay overnight. She went down and stayed in Lake House, Lord Porchester's place. See, because I heard that she found the castle too draughty.
She was too cold for her. She didn't like
That's
that.
what I heard. I don't know if there's any truth in that.
And that was Queen Elizabeth,
That
right?
was Queen Elizabeth, of course, yeah.
And then
It
Charles.
wasn't the first Queen Elizabeth.
No, not the first one. I hope not. It's funny. Yeah, second.
But they're really nice people to work for, you know. Anybody I ever worked for in that business will always talk to you, never down to you, nice.
Yeah.
Manners, everything. You know.
So, yeah, because people think that they're sort of hoity-toity
So, yeah.
and all this stuff.
And there
they
probably
do.
is some like that, but they're
Well,
usually
I'm
down
sure
at,
there
I found that the upper middle class are more hoity-toity, than the aristocrats. I could,
Well, really, you could
communicate-
relate to.
Yeah, I could communicate well with the aristocrats. You know.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
did you have any children then, or do you have any children?
I do now, but I didn't then.
You didn't then
Because
have
that
any.
was a thing. If you're working as a couple, they didn't want you to have any children. you know.
No. So you were just perfect for that.
Yeah, just-
And how did your wife take all this in? She was probably,
Well,
you know,
she's funny, you know, Sheila. You love my wife. She's so Irish, you know, and she'd get mixed up on the titles and
Of course, calling them all the wrong. But that's typical British. I mean, when you talk about Ireland and Scotland and England, it's British actually.
All of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's all. We put it into British. When I talk about,
I'd say I want to accept my Irish friend. There is the Republic of Ireland. They did fight us to get it, but half the Irish population live in London anyway. So.
Yeah, well, London and Boston. They live in Boston.
Yeah,
as well.
of course.
Yeah, they live in Boston, so they know what they're like. But that's why we call it Great Britain, because we include all.
Right.
And then, but I'm from England. You're from England.
Yeah.
What part of England are you from?
Cambridge area.
Oh, Cambridge, around there, Cambridge. Yeah. Cambridge, Oxford, that's where all the educational people are.
I went to school in Cambridge, but I haven't got an academic bone in my body. I went to equivalent of high school here, you know.
Yes, yes. But that's what we all did. We all sort of, went that route.
Well, my nephew was raised in Cambridge. He didn't go to college there. He went to London and Liverpool College, so, you know.
So you don't have to go to college if you live in Cambridge.
No, I mean,
not. But that's typical.
The names.
It's just the names, and I've got a cousin of mine went to Bristol, to that university. They're all. But we didn't have as many universities, which I still don't think we have.
There's many colleges.
Colleges and universities in England as they do in America.
No.
I mean, it's like everybody goes to college or university. It's like, ooh. You know,
I think that's about the change that I hear people talking about going back into the trades, which is a good thing.
I think it's a better thing because I personally don't think the younger generation, all of them are ready for college, personally.
Well, they can't afford it, number one. It's got ridiculous.
I remember I did something for USC, and I had this young man helping me, and I asked him, I said, well, how was college? He just finished. He said it was great and it was wonderful. And I said, well, what about the payment? And he had this, I don't know, 50,000, I don't know, it was a tremendous amount. He's now got to pay this, and he was, 26 or something? He now had to pay this for the rest of his life. And I'm thinking, coming into, or coming out of university or college, and then having to have this big bill.
Oh, right.
But we didn't have that. Anyway, let's get back to you. So anyway, so then you decided you wanted to leave, or they decided that was enough, and... So
you decided
you wanted to move on.
Well, I knew that we loved it so much we would never leave, and we were young. We wanted to explore
and see what was going on. Yeah. So from there, where did you go? Because I know you.
Well, for a while, maybe we just didn't do anything or worked motels and hotels. Not motels. We don't have those.
No, we don't have those.
And that stuff like that. And the next place I went to work for was the Rothschild family.
I know. Now, the Rothschild family, this is fascinating because I think...
she was an old lady, lived on her own, but some of the family visited. She didn't have any children herself, but
now,
nephew...
Did you get this job because of your previous job and obviously experience?
Well, of course I used it, but I don't know. I used an agency. I used to have an agency, correct? Finding jobs.
Yes.
Anyway, I got a call one day and I couldn't believe it. The lady said she was Mrs. Rothschild. I thought,
Oh, this is a joke.
Yeah, I'm the Queen of Sheba,
I love it.
And she talked to me and would I like to come down for an interview. I was a bit strapped for cash at the time. And I thought, well, yeah.
I need a
job.
I
said to my wife, who's these Rothschild? She said, you're a bloody idiot, don't you know? But yeah, so we went down for an interview. Well, this lady is so nice. She spoke to you too, never down to you. Really, everybody loved her. I remember what she said to me after the interview. She said, "How you fixed?" Just like that.
Now, but we have to...
Remember, she was Jewish too,
Yeah, now, how you fix means is how much money do you have or what do you want. It's regarding money when you say how you fix.
When she said to me, "How you fixed?" I knew I got the job. So my answer was not very flush.
Which you weren't anyway.
But you always got your expenses on these jobs. Everybody it was known you had to get your expenses. So she put her hand in her sleeve and threw me over some money, which was quite generous.
So she how did she know to do that though?
I don't know. She probably liked us straight away. She was a really good judge of character, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she also knew your experience, she knew where you came from, she knew everything.
Talked to me. At the time, remember back in England, everybody was wearing the long hair, and I've got
it. And you had short hair.
No, I had long hair. When I worked for the Earl of Carnarvon, my hair was long.
Yes.
I went to Mrs. Rothschild, and the only comment was, You think you're Samson. And I think she was checking me out in the Bible too, her being Jewish, you know what I mean? And then I looked, and I said, laughed, you know.
Yes, of
but
course.
She employed me. Yeah.
She employed you,
Yeah.
wow. And what did you and your wife as well?
My wife.
Both
Couple
of you?
again.
A couple again, so
Yeah.
this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And was your wife excited?
Yeah.
I'm sure she would be, but I mean, meeting these people, how many people in this world meet these people?
Right, this is exactly, and I
Yeah,
tell
how many?
people, and a lot of them look at me like I'm nuts, you know what I mean? So
Well, whilst both being
I
English, we
give you
believe
stories.
each other.
I
Yeah.
give stories. So she lived there with a
Now, where did she live?
Aylesbury, just outside Aylesbury.
Okay.
And they
Aylesbury, that's just outside London.
They had a nice place in London near Green Park, you know.
I know exactly where that is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that other palace is down there somewhere, because when I used to go down there, you see the guards standing outside. You know.
Yeah, it's all in that area,
Yeah.
that same area.
Yeah, Green Park.
Green Park and all
Yeah.
that area is where the Mall is and the whole
Yeah.
bit and Buckingham Palace.
That's where Lord Rothschild lived.
Lord,
Yeah.
Now, who was Lord Rothschild? Did you meet him?
I met him a
Yeah.
few times.
How was he to you? Was he?
Very nice.
Yeah.
I always got the feeling he was hiring me up. Maybe they were going to send me down there to look after him, which would have been nice because it was the best part of London. And
What do you mean? You lived in the best parts of everything anyway so far. So far, so good. He touched it lucky, I'm telling you.
I mean, these stories I tell you sound so far-fetched, but they're not. You see,
Well, this
to
is
me,
real-
they were not. You know.
No, to you, this is real life. This is
Yeah.
your everyday living.
Yeah.
And it's nothing sort of, you're not hoity-toity about it. You're just very natural about
Well,
it.
she didn't want any hoity-toity people, and I could tell you stories about that. Well, I mean, she.
Well, tell me some stories.
Well, I always remember the time back in England. They used to pay our wages into the bank, and it wasn't really done a lot in England back
No, that
then.
was not.
No,
You-
it paid cash, but she wanted to
But
pay
was it weekly?
bi-weekly. I think.
Bi-weekly, because normally
It
in
might have been
England,
weekly,
yeah, 'cause in England they paid weekly.
They used to, yeah.
They used to. I don't know if they do that now, but
Anyway, she asked me if I minded. I said, well, I'll have to get a bank account in Aylesbury. So I went down and got it. And in those days, you could get a banker's card. Do you remember those cards with a cheque?
Sure.
And they wouldn't take your cheque unless you had this
But
little...
you had to produce the card.
Yeah. So I go in and I say, I'd like to get a banker's card, you see. And the manager comes out. He says, well, you better have some good references. I said, I'll take care of it. So I went to see Mrs. Rothschild and told her. I got a call the next day from the bank. Come on in, sir. We've got your card.
You've become a sir now. Now he's the sir.
Come on in. And he's got the tea and cookies all on the plate in the office.
Oh, no.
And they shouts a lot, and especially when they call down.
Well, especially when they know it's real, it's legit.
Yeah,
So that's quite a story.
I know. That was funny. You know.
What other stories did you have with her? Any particular?
She was very down to earth. I always remember she had a big estate there.
Yes.
She had farms on it. And one day I was new there, and this lady come riding in one of those horse and buggy things, dressed up in the black hat and everything, real posh talker, you know.
Oh yes,
And
my
she said,
dear.
I'd come to see. Well, I didn't know. I thought she was a friend, and I went in. I said, "Just a moment, madam." And I told, well, you don't go see Mrs. Rothschild just a bit. She didn't even know her. She was one of the farmers' wives on the estate. But she saw her and put a flea in her ear. She went off, and she told her that to write into the office. She wanted an appointment with her, you know.
Yes.
I always remember that. And she really didn't like it, you know.
Of course not, because she wants appointments.
Yeah.
Nobody could just come up and see her.
Right.
Yes.
So.
Well, those sort of people.
But I
That's
loved it the way she.
The way she handled it.
She told her off in such a nice way, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
In other
she could
words-
do that, you know.
Yes. Well,
She had such a command of the English language. I know.
and also, I
she
guess.
was French,
Oh.
but she never spoke with a French accent.
Oh,
Which
that's
is
right.
French.
She was French. Yeah.
She was French.
So, how many Rothschilds did you meet? Did you meet a lot of them?
Mr. Jacob Rothschild, I think he's a head honcho now.
Yeah.
My wife, he came over to. I worked in the Bellagio, and my wife was working in the art gallery, and he was selling some paintings to Steve Wynn. And he came into the art gallery, and she recognised him. I said, did you say hello? Well, she didn't want to because Steve Wynn was there, she didn't want to.
Oh, she should have said hello,
No,
because
I
he
know.
would have said
But
hello to her.
But you never knew how Steve Wynn was going to jump.
Because we're brought up not to interrupt or not to do things like that.
Yeah.
The English people are brought up where we have to really have our manners, and we have to really, we still have them.
Yeah.
I still do anyway.
Yeah.
And I know things I can say and things I can't say. And people sort of look at me strangely. And I say, well, in England we can't do that. We have to, you can't ask all those questions,
Right.
And here they ask all these questions, which there's nothing wrong in it.
No.
But when you're not used to it, it's like, okay.
Manners are different. When you meet somebody, you don't throw your arms around and you say, how do you do? It seems very cold to Americans, but it's...
I know.
Once you get to know these people, they are warm.
Yeah, here you sort of put your, oh, hi, how are you, and the kissing and all this stuff.
I got shocked when it first happened to me when I came to the States.
So what are you kissing me for?
This gorgeous woman comes up and puts her arms around me, and I thought, my God, that's a good night for me coming up, and that's fine.
That was just a hello.
I got used to it. You're
living in America, you understand, and you have to do the American ways.
I tend to help people now a lot.
Now you go around liking people.
Yeah, not straight away, but I do.
Yes,
when I know them.
Because when you know them, you get to know them. So how long were you with them?
I was about 2 years there.
2 years there.
Yeah, 2. And the only reason I left there was because we had a home in Ireland, and aunt was taking care of it, and she got old and feeble, so we had to go back.
So now you had to go back and take care of your own family.
Yeah.
That were getting old.
Yeah.
You've been taking care of these older people.
I was in Ireland for a while. Loved it every minute being there.
In Ireland, they say I have been there. Yes, I've been to Ireland. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is, and also
and the people are so great sense of humour.
Yeah. Well, it's the culture's different.
Right.
All countries are different, and Ireland, British are different to the Irish. The Irish are different to the Scottish.
Yeah.
We've all got our own little things,
but we all understand each other really quick.
And we all like each other. Actually, people seem to think we don't, but we do.
Yeah.
We all kind of. I mean, my great grandfather was Scottish.
Yeah.
So people,
I've got Scottish in my background.
I think I've got some Irish somewhere. I'm sure I do if I look deep enough. I don't know if I want to or not, though. But so now you're finished with that. Now where do you go? Because I mean, how?
Well, we spent some time in Ireland.
Yeah. And then after that, so what brought you?
There comes number 3 job, and this was the last one.
This is one I don't know about. I know the other two. What's this one?
This one is Lord and Lady Samuel.
Well, see, I didn't know about this, so now we're getting hot here. He's surprising me.
This was a nice job. They were all nice people I worked for. I was so lucky.
Now, how did you get this through your agent again, or did you get this?
Oh, through the Lady magazine again.
Oh, the Lady magazine.
Yeah.
So this was kind of your job magazine.
It was for 2 of the jobs. One was agency.
Yes, 2 of the jobs. So this one, you'd had enough time in Ireland. You were probably running out of money.
Well, we weren't very rich, but...
So you decided you needed some money.
The house was paid for, so we didn't have to worry about...
Rent, mortgages and all that stuff. Yeah. So how old were you when this job presented itself?
I had to be getting into the late 70s then.
What do you mean the late 70s? 1970?
No, late.
Oh, 70 your age.
No,
how old?
No. 79, say, somewhere around then.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
See, I mean, that.
So you're still quite young.
Yeah.
And you have children now? Not yet.
No, that's the next part of the story. See.
Okay, so this is the.
I had children by a previous marriage, but that's going back a long. I didn't mention it, but.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, you don't have to mention all. You mention what you want to mention. You don't have to answer any question I ask. By the way, it's a bit late in the thing since we've done all this interviewing. So far, I've been good. I haven't asked.
Well, I haven't told you anything I didn't want to tell you.
And you don't have to.
And I've told you the funny bits.
I love the funny bits. Well, why have you got some sad bits?
Sorry.
Sad bits. You've got some things that happened that.
I haven't really. No.
So
it's not funny.
So what about this third job?
Well, I went for an interview with that, and I got it. And it was in
And
St John's Wood in London. That's
I know
nice
St John. Yeah, that's a very nice
Another
area.
nice area.
It's very, very nice.
Opposite us was the Israeli ambassador's house.
Okay.
Okay.
That's down Millionaires Road, I think it was called.
Avenue Road.
Avenue Road.
And if you went straight up, you get to Swiss Cottage.
That's right. You go straight down, and then all these very, very expensive houses, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gorgeous. Yeah, I remember that avenue. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Number 24. They don't have these numbers in like they have in America. 362. You know, they don't go that long.
The streets are that long.
When I first came here, I thought, where the hell's that? About 10 miles down the road.
And that happened to me one time. I was going down, I forget the name of the road, Decatur or something, and I was this end, and I had to go that end, not realising that the street was that long. I mean, we're not used to that. But anyway, so you get this third job, and sort of, did they employ you right away? Obviously, they interviewed you. They knew where you had worked. They knew you had the experience.
They interviewed us, checked the references, and then we got the job, you know.
And were you weren't surprised getting the job? You just knew. Did you know you were getting?
Oh, I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, of course.
But Lady Samuel had a big estate out of town. I forget where it was. I was going to take care of the London house. She said, do you mind? We're very casual in the London house. She thought I wanted to be, I thought to myself, this sounds good, you know.
Yeah, yes, of course.
And she said, would you do a little light cooking? I said, I don't think you'd like my cooking.
I burn eggs.
No, she said, it's very simple. And I said, okay. My wife can't cook anything. Well, you better eliminate that from the... Don't put that in.
Yeah, so anyway,
Anyway, we started the job. And I started to do... There was a maid at work there before who had retired. She come in to show me what they like to eat and that and give me a heads up.
Yeah. I was going to say, when they interview you, do they ask you all the different things you can do? You know.
Well, they do. But
and you can say yes or no.
A butler doesn't normally cook anything. You know.
No, a butler doesn't. A butler kind of takes care of...
Yeah, it was a more relaxed place. I just wore not really a proper uniform there, you know.
You could really dress like you was to dress.
I'd wear a leather jacket and that to serve their dinner. But there was only the two of them, you know.
Well, when we say in England we don't dress, I'm sure you still dress, because in England we dress for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, America is very casual. I think maybe England is casual too now.
Yeah, it's gone casual.
Yes, it's gone casual. But we always dressed.
Yeah.
You know, we always had a jacket on or something. You know.
Well,
what exactly did you have to do as a butler? What exactly was your job?
Well, my job was to take care of there's a lot of domestic work too. You know, take care of the pantries and take care of stocking the wines away. Serving at table is just the front part of the job.
That's just the front part. But then you have to make sure everything's in order, make sure everything is there, everything. Yeah. So whatever they want to eat or whatever they want to do, you are prepared for that.
Yeah, and when I was at Highclere, the lady, she was a chef, the lady, she would tell me what sort of silverware she wanted to serve, and I would take it into the kitchen, and that's what we'd use to go serve them in.
So you had to know all the silverware.
I'd clean it.
Clean. Let me tell you something. Cleaning is the silverware is a pain.
Yeah, but it was pretty. We got it off pretty quick, you know. So.
Well, you got used to your job. You got used to what you had to do and how you had to do it. What did you ever have any large parties that you had to take care of?
The only large parties we ever had at the first job was the shooting parties. You remember they had these.
Yes.
To shoot the pheasants.
Yes.
And quite a few people had come and stayed in. We'd have the Duke of this.
The quail, they used to have, I don't know if they have quail in England, but I know
they do. I don't know if they do, but they have pheasants.
They have pheasants, they do. Reason I know about quail, because Hal Roach was a very good friend of mine, and Hal Roach used to go out with this other lady, and they would go out shooting quail.
Yeah.
And Hal Roach, of course, you know.
I've had quail, but it seems hard work and nothing there, doesn't it?
Well, it's a little... I agree. I think I'd rather have them flying around myself. But, you know, at least in England, when you're shooting something, it's substantial.
Well, these pheasants were on the estate all year, and the gamekeepers would rear these pheasants. Getting back, I'm jumping back now.
No, jump, that's fine. I can do what you like.
And when it came to shooting time, the pheasants always knew to go and hide, didn't it?
Oh, they went on holiday.
They got out of the way, you know. I'm not kidding you, they knew. And then they would, of course, they'd have beaters come and beat them out of the bushes.
Of course.
And these.
Oh, a beater would beat.
Well, yeah, make a noise, get
Yes,
out there.
get out there.
So they'd be there, bang, bang, well done, sir, jolly good shot, and all that.
All that stuff, yes.
Yeah, couldn't really miss, really, all the bloody pheasants and a shotgun. But it was fun, and they would have lunch. Some would just come for the day, some were staying,
So they would stay in the castle?
Some of them, not a lot of them.
Not a lot of them, but some of them were invited to stay.
A couple of the dukes and, something like that.
All the dukes. You're really in high society there. All your language was all the
and when they
honorary people, as we call them.
I know I keep jumping back and forth, but when they dined, these people that were on them ship, they always wore these beautiful velvet dinner jackets. Black pants with but beautiful
velvet.
Yes,
they were always very neatly dressed, but very beautifully
always dressed
dressed.
for dinner. Yeah.
Always dressed for dinner.
Yeah. I mean, you see it in Downton Abbey, but they were just wearing regular
clothes.
Tuxedos,
yes. Yeah. But in those, when you were there,
they were,
and you would have to dress up too.
See, we're missing things here, and I should have put them in.
No, that's
When people came to stay, and it was a duke, he'd put his suitcase. They had a room and a dressing room, and for some reason, if they had a wife, they all slept separate. I don't know why.
Well,
don't ask me.
I'm not going to ask. I'm going to go
there. We
would
unpack them and lay out their clothes to what they were going to wear. They didn't tell us. We laid them out. They put them on and wore them. We knew what to wear.
So you actually, you knew anyway,
well,
for
sure.
I
knew when I was told by the head butler.
This is what they were going to wear for dinner. So you would unpack their suitcase. So they would just leave their suitcase there and do whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And you would unpack that.
Lay out for the next day what they would wear.
See, this is all what a butler does, you see.
Yeah, and they would wear it.
Yeah, no question asked.
No question asked.
Did they have hairdressers come in? For the women? Did the women have...
I didn't see that. No, they were only there for a couple of days.
Yeah, but they were well taken care of.
Oh, really well taken care of, because the women unpacked for the women.
Yes, like your wife would help with all that.
Yeah.
So she would be that end and you would be the
I couldn't believe that they would wear what we put out, but we knew what to put out, and they expected it.
Well, you were actually told what to put out.
Well, not by them.
Not by the owner of the clothes.
No, but by the butler.
The head butler.
It's more experienced than me, because it was all new to me.
Yes, but all this learning must have been fascinating to you. Yeah. And what on these beautiful clothes, but they're obviously very expensive.
God.
They were
And then they would go in the lounge room. The dining room was just a little bit off from there. And people would say, oh, you serve them cocktails. No, you don't. But not the older households. It's all set out for them in a big cabinet. The ice, the cocktails, they mix their own and drink their own and play bridge until you call them in for dinner,
Really?
I know.
So this was like a little cocktail hour, but they could play bridge or they could talk.
Yeah, it was all there. When they came in for dinner and they were on the main course, or the entree, as I say here, we would go out and fix it all up clean again so they were ready. And another thing we do, you won't believe this.
Go ahead.
The carpet was so fine, it had footprints on it, where they went out and where they came in. So we'd get a brush and brush all the footprints out. So when they came out...
It looked like it was all clean again. And you couldn't use the vacuum because it makes noise.
Well,
so everything... as a butler, everything has to be very quiet, if I remember rightly. Everything has to be very quiet.
Well, this thing, I don't think a vacuum would have done it. You had to really...
Absolutely. Yeah. So these are things you used to do and everything else.
But later on in places, I didn't do those things.
No.
Highclere was back in this old
the first time.
The butler was an old butler, and now,
Yeah. But you met a lot of people through there, but you've always met a lot of, I'm going to call them high-end people, a lot of people that are sort of, high society and all that. So now this third job you got, was that just as hard? Not hard. I don't think any of your jobs were hard. I think you loved every one of them.
The third one, most of that sort of business went down on the estate, the big house on the estate. I got the lucky job. To get a job like I got, it was casual. She asked me, do you mind? I said, no.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I like that.
They were gone 3 days a week. I had 3 days off every week. I lived in London, one of the best parts. I was never sober for 3 days, and I don't drink now at all, but I did then.
Of course, why not? And it was their drink then.
So they left, and I waved them good. Always on time, these people. Nothing's always done on time. Waved them goodbye.
Yeah.
And we shut the house up, set for our part, down to the boozer.
So you kind of live your own life as well.
Yeah.
You had your own life.
They were easy going.
And you could come down
as long as
to...
you did what they wanted you to do.
Yes.
They went to bed on time. They got up on time. They take a crap on time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way they are.
That's
It
the way
makes it easy.
It makes it very methodical.
Because you know how to follow it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You do your job on time. Everything works wonderful. You know?
Absolutely. And so, yes.
You better take that last bit I said out.
What bit? Oh, yes, okay. I think he knows what to do, but that's not a problem. So out of all the 3 jobs, after that third job, what did you do after that? Was that
After that, shortly went back to Ireland for a while, and then we came to the States.
And then you came. Now, what made you come to America? Because we don't really have butlers in America.
No, I was going to do it, but I didn't in the end when I got here because I was used to. It's such a different routine here. They don't really have a routine, Americans. They do anything at any time.
Yes, you're right. They can, especially Vegas. Vegas, you can get up at 12 o'clock and have breakfast.
Right.
You know. So.
I mean, if they got the money there. But a lady told me I spoke to after I got here, she was in New York and she worked for the Rockefellers, and she said, "You're in the wrong part of America to be a butler," she said. You know, working for all these movie stars and that, you know.
Oh, wait a minute, you've been working for movie stars?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. She was telling me,
yes.
Either get over to the East Coast where you would be.
Where you would definitely get a job and where you belong.
Yeah.
And so, but you stayed here in Vegas? Where did you?
No, I was in California for
You're in California.
12 years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you do in California?
I got a job and I did lots of things from janitorial work. I eventually got a job as a bellhop in a hotel. And I thought, not bellhop. And anyway, I went to the room with the cases, and they gave me money, and I came back, and they gave me money. I thought,
well, this is not bad.
What the hell do I know? Hey, suitcases in, I'm down. If they're pricks, I don't have to be around them for too long. It's not like being a waiter, is it, you know?
Not at all.
I was making money. I couldn't believe it.
So that you like? Did you like California?
Stuck there for a few years, yeah.
Did you like
California?
California?
Then we moved here.
And you moved here.
My wife used to work at a place called, it was a nuclear power plant, and she was in security.
Oh, really?
But it was well paid because it was nuclear power plant.
Yes, yeah.
I forget the name of it.
It's funny how you and well, not funny, but how you and your wife always landed very good jobs. You always.
Well, we're not so quickly all the time though. It was a while in America before you got.
Yeah, but you always got a good position. You always got a good. You and your wife very stable people, and sort of obviously very polite, and obviously knowing what your work was, and knowing. Because I know a lot of society people, and I know how it is, and it's there's lots of sort of things that you can do and you can't do,
right?
And sort of it's more what you can't do than you can do, believe it or not. Yeah. But to have the knowledge and to have that now, out of all the things, we'll wind up now. Out of everything you did, what really reflects in your mind the greatest one? Probably King Tut, but
well, they were all good to me. I don't like to pick
all
them up to bear. They were all very nice to me too. You know?
Would you have done anything different, knowing now what you had done and what you did? Would you have done it any different?
I don't think so.
No?
I was like a ship without a rudder. I fell into these things. I
know it seems like that, but then you had the knowledge to be able to look in certain papers, and you had, you sort of knew what to do.
Yeah.
Of where in other words, you knew where you were going and what you wanted.
I would never claim to be the best butler in the world. You know what I mean? I probably wasn't.
Well, I would never claim I'm the greatest host in the world either. So we're both very equal.
I think they like me is the main thing.
Well, they like your personality.
And they want to trust you because you're in a house with lots of valuables.
Yes, there's trust, being trusted. Yeah, being trusted is not lying, and being trusted and doing your job is the main thing. At the end of every interview, what I do is I ask you, how would you handle the younger generation now? They seem to be a little lost, and of course we just had this big loss with Charlie, and my condolences to everybody out there, especially to the younger generation, since I had a show. I had a show for 16 years interviewing the younger generation, so I know exactly how that feels and what's going on in this world, and it's all very sad. Yeah. But at the same time, what would you like to say to the younger generation of your experience to help them?
Well, the younger generation, I find most of them are pretty easy going to get along with,
See, you and I think the same way. I think they're great.
I mean, I don't know what to advise them. I mean, I don't
just do what you want to do.
I don't advise them to be a butler now, or something like that.
Well, no, but they could be a butler in England.
Well, yeah, well.
It's different in
There probably
England.
is American butlers in England. You'd be surprised,
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But it's a different time now. They probably wouldn't have to do any of that stuff I did,
No, because they have them dedicated to each different thing, where you kind of looked after everything all at one time and took care of it all, you and your wife. Well, Micheal Ellis has been absolutely amazing. He's given us a little insight on his life and what he did and how he accomplished it, which was, it seems like he never really went after a job. He went for an interview and he got the job, and it was just his personalities, and I definitely know one thing for sure, it was his attitude. And attitude is one of the greatest things in this world.
Right.
So be nice to people, be kind, be honest, don't lie, don't cheat, don't do all those crazy things, because it's not worth it. What? Go ahead.
Can I do my...
Oh, he wants to... Yes, you certainly can.
I want to be plugged this
He's pushing his chest out.
Well, it's a T-shirt, see?
Yes, and it's got rats on it.
That's right. It's going to be a movie called Rats. It's going to be IMAX and on the big screen. And
what part are you playing in this
I'm
rat?
not playing any part. I'm going to play...
Stop playing any part.
I met this guy. I've got to look at it on this because I can't remember... Joe Luisi, and he has been in the film industry for quite a while.
Okay.
I met him at a friend's house, and I told him I had made a movie earlier.
Yes.
And it's out there on Prime now. But this is going to be going into the...
Big screens.
Yeah, big screen thing.
He's surprising me now. Now he's in the movie business. He falls into it, just falls into the movie.
He's worked on several movies, and he's got one in Netflix now, Obliterated it's called.
Obliterated, yes.
But he worked with James Cameron. He worked with the one where I've got to remember him because he worked on the Terminator. You remember the Terminator?
Oh, sure, we remember the Terminator.
Yeah. I jump around a lot, I know.
Wasn't that Schwarzenegger?
Sorry?
Schwarzenegger.
That's right.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
I did a commercial with Arnold Schwarzenegger many, many years ago with some fitness powder they were selling. I don't know what it was, but anyway.
Anyway, I showed Joe some things about a picture of a rat, and he got excited about me. He wants to direct this one. He is a location manager, but he's wore other hats,
Yeah, of course, like you.
Yeah, he wants to...
And what part are you playing in all this, then?
Well, I'm going to have, hopefully, a part of, like I had in the other one.
Oh, he wants the cash.
Investor,
He wants the money. I love it.
Hell, I don't have to play a part.
You don't have to play a part, but you can be like a producer or director. What would your title will be? Probably a producer or director or something like that.
Yeah, what they call executive producer.
Executive producer. Yeah. Absolutely wonderful.
That's what I am on the last one.
So when is all this starting?
It's starting pre-production now.
Pre-production now?
It should be out sometime next year.
Sometime next year. So we would. The name of the movie is going to be called Rats.
Rats.
So you've got to look out for Rats. Micheal Ellis.
It's going to be like a vintage Hollywood back in the 50s. It's a trilogy. It's going to start in the 50s, and it's going to move. The next one. It's going to move forward up to the modern day. Yeah. And then the last one's going to go back to the late 50s again. So you have all those old rock and roll.
I'm sure we got. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It's really interesting.
It sounds fabulous. I'm glad. Anything else you would like to bring out, or is that just it? Because this is your time now.
No, it's Joe. Maybe you could interview Joe sometime.
Oh, I'd love to interview Joe. He sounds
much more eloquent speaker than me, I can tell you.
I disagree with that totally, because nobody has had the experience you have had, Micheal Ellis. Believe me, you have a history behind you. How many people can turn around and say they actually worked for royalty and they actually held King Tut's little ornaments and things?
Well, let me tell you about my movie on Prime. I know I'm trying to push it here a little bit. It's called The Star City Murders.
The Star City. I love the name of these movies.
And it's Heath Centauro's the star. He's up and coming. But we have Tim Ross, and he's been in movies.
Yes.
Star Trek and everything. He's in it.
Yeah. So can I get in a movie?
It's a murder mystery.
Oh, murder mystery. How lovely. So you've got a lot going into this.
I've got to plug those two, because you're not paying me for this interview.
No. No, Michael, but you never know what happens. You never know. But I want to thank you, Michael. Michael Ellis has been absolutely amazing.
There's probably things I've forgotten. There's other things. But
well, we can always have it. We can always have you back again.
Yeah, because it's such a long time ago, and there's such a lot happened to me.
A lot happened to him. But I have to also tell you one thing. He said to me when we were in the green room. We call it the green room, and he was saying, "I've never had an interview before." So you've never been kind of interviewed before, not like this.
A lady called me once from a television station in Arizona. She said, "We want a butler to come on and show us how to make a bed." Well, I said, "Madam, I've never made a bed in my life as a butler."
What do you think a butler is?
I never heard any more from her.
That's the end of that. Well, on that, we always like to have a good old laugh, and absolutely fabulous. I also want to thank the vets and JR for letting us film here. It's absolutely amazing. And, of course, John Grip, who's now come into my life again. John Grip and I actually started Vegas Live with Ninon. We actually started that in 2015 together, and we filmed out of the Pepper Mill. So he brought this wonderful guest in, Michael Ellis, and it's amazing how things come turning all the way back around again. So thank you, John Grip, for doing what you're doing. Thank you for the vets, and thank you so much. Michael Ellis, you are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.